Hello and welcome to another edition of Seahawk Spotlight. I'm Ed Habershaw and I'm with the first year Seahawk from our equestrian team, Hannah Gray. Welcome, Hannah.
Thank you, Ed.
You selected Salve as a school that at the time you were looking at the school, we didn't have varsity equestrian. Tell us how you chose Salve.
Right. So I came to Salve for multiple reasons. My equestrian coach at home actually came to Salve. She's an alum from here. And I had been in contact with the coach, and he was like, it's a club sport right now. We're working on getting it varsity. Hopefully it'll be a full-fledged varsity sport long before you graduate, and hopefully before you even come. And I also fell in love with the environment here and the academic program here. It was really everything I was looking for in a school, academically, athletically, and location-wise.
What are you studying?
So I'm a psychology major with a minor in neuroscience. I hope to apply for the 5-year behavioral analysis master's degree here once I finish my undergrad in psych.
Tell us how psychology relates to your sport.
It relates in a lot of ways because for a lot of equestrians, they have the skill and they are more than capable of doing what they need to do in the ring, but they rush their own minds, and I rush my own mind all the time, and it leads to a lot of mistakes in the ring that can cost you some pretty valuable points. And so studying psychology has helped me slow my own mind down and be like, Hannah, you're rushing again, and like taking note of that, and it helps. Like I talk to my fellow teammates about it all the time. I'm like, you're rushing, you need to slow down. Like here are these, like I throw psychological theories at them all the time, and they're like, okay, yeah, you're right. And just that itself elevates you on a whole nother level, because you can be good, but you have to have the mindset of a competitor here, because you're riding a strange horse. You've most likely never sat on it before, and you are the only one in the ring most of the time, so all eyes are on you, and that's a huge psychological factor.
All eyes will be on you in several weeks. Your team schedule has the regionals, the zones, and then the nationals. You're skipping the regionals and the zones and heading right to the nationals. How did that happen? Right,
so we have two aspects of our sport. We have the riding component and then the horsemanship component. And the horsemanship component is something that's really important to me, and it's always been taught to me way before I even sat on a horse, because these animals do so much for us. It's only fair that we know as much as we can and do as much as we can for them. And so the IHSA offers a Teresa McDonald Horsemanship Challenge, and it's open to anyone that is a member of the IHSA organization and is a current active member, and it's an online test. It's 50 questions in 15 minutes, and it's about anything and everything horsemanship. They can ask about anatomy, they can ask about health, they can ask about nutrition, like certain horses need certain foods and all that, and riding theory, tack, first aid. And so I studied all this information for a couple of weeks, and I took the test, and the top 2 from each zone, so our zone is zone 1, which is all of New England, the top 2 test scores from each zone go right to the national competition to compete in a final hands-on phase.
And you scored?
I got a 92.8 on the test, so that was pretty exciting because I knew that was probably going to be one of the top scores, and that I was most likely heading to nationals.
So when that happens, you'll be in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Yes.
And doing what you love to do.
Correct.
Tell us how you anticipate that experience.
I have been to nationals before for my high school riding, because there's a high school version of IHSA called IEA, and so I did that for 6 years. I went to nationals twice with my team, and last year we ended up being national champions. So I've had a similar experience before, but I was always riding there. I was never doing like hands-on like horse care and stuff like that. So this year is kind of like another side of it that I haven't really ever seen before. There's going to be, like, I have to sign up for a test time when I get there on Friday afternoon, and Saturday morning I'll go in and they'll give me a horse, and I have to look at it and answer whatever question they throw at me and do whatever. They could be like, do a polo wrap on this horse. I'd be like, okay, I have to do a perfect polo wrap on his legs. And so I think in that way that's a little more nerve-wracking for me, because if I mess up, not only is my score affected, but everyone's like, oh. And like there are 2 judges watching me the whole time. And so you go in and they can basically ask you anything they want to.
When do you get this love of horses and being involved in the equestrian field?
When I was 6 years old, we moved to South Plymouth, Massachusetts, and there was a farm down the street from my house, and it was like doing like its grand opening because a new trainer had come in and there was a whole new like setup there. And I begged my mom for weeks to take me to the grand opening, and she finally gave in. And so 6-year-old me went down to the grand opening and I had my very first pony ride, and that was it. I've been doing it ever since then.
Giddy up.
Exactly.
Thanks to Hannah Gray from our Salve Regina equestrian team, we now know a lot more about horsemanship. Thank you, Hannah.
Thank you, Ed.